Oakfather preserve you. Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. There is much to admire, judging by the stories. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I, but one duty at a time. Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected, I suppose. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning. You are right, but I must not lose focus until everything has been put right. I've wasted too much time already. Years in which nature has suffered. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in high forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The grove became my family, with Sylvanus as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes, nature needs reminding. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand, but as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. Anytime.
Eager for battle.
Sylvanus' blessings.
What now?
Shall we continue?
To do. Shouldn't have wished to live more interesting times.
My God.
You better be, or I'm a dead man walking. Aren't we all? Not as long as a fight going on.
before the assault on Moonrise Towers. The Archdruid at the time spoke to us all, inspiring our courage. He was a fine leader.
I have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
She was no fun. All I wanted was to play. It's coming, son. Boo! I scared you! I saw it! Nobody beats me at hide and seek.
That's him. Like an echo of Thaniel, remolded by the curse. We need him if we're to put a stop to all of this.
Will you play with me? Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time. Not harder. Impossible. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Back to the shadows. After him, Rastel. We need to see this through.
Very well.
make my own fun if I have to. And my own friends.
Whatever may come, I stand ready.
Let me strike. So soon follow dos. To what end?
Let our enemies' corpses nourish the ground.
Yes. Lila Lurl.
We shall carry the day. Moving to position.
command. You will break. I will not fail.
Good idea, I think.
Time to strike.
Every enemy of nature must fall.
Fresh orders?
Why couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that.
He's nothing to me. He left me here all this time. I had to do everything for myself. Even when it was scary, even when I was alone. I didn't give up. But would he even want me back? I've changed. A lot. So I wouldn't have to be alone anymore. He'd stay with me. Play with me. I'd like that. And he would too, I think. All right, I'll do it. I want to do it.
Well done.
Are you crying? You're a bit big to be crying. But I suppose that's okay. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood. Rested enough. Now, forward.
Oakfather's blessings.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Oakfather preserve you. Oakfather preserve you.
Very well.
The druid Halsin spoke to me while I was sleeping. He spoke of you. Said that you fought shadow and spite to restore me. 100 years of sickness almost ended. I feel every root that riddles the earth beginning to unfold. But there is one anchor, still holding the shadows in place. The soul that brought it into being, for the land to heal. Ketheric Thorm must die.
Halsin is such a delight. Woe to the cultist who tangles with that thick hunk of an elf. I'd love to join, but I don't think there's enough space for me to squeeze. Let's make this happen.
Halsin is one hench elf. I'm impressed. And glad he's on our side.
These lands may not be under the thrall of Lady Shah for much longer. No matter. She wishes for Ketheric Thorm to be punished. Her darkness was a blessing offered before he betrayed her. She can redirect her powers elsewhere once he is cast down. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't be so rings a bell. Why? Oh, hells. You didn't pick that by hand, did you? They're deadly poisonous. Joking. They're safe. And beautiful. Thank you. I don't have anything to give you in return, I'm afraid. We'll see. Give me a while to put my imagination to work.
Halsin's proved himself a fine ally already. He'll be useful in battle, if those tree trunk arms are an indication.
I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked.
A savvy move recruiting Halsin to our cause. While I'm adept at most forms of weave manipulation, druidic magic is not my area of expertise. He will make for a most useful option to have in reserve.
Ketheric's soul still nourishes the shadows. Destroy him, so the land may heal. So that I may heal.
You wish to consult me?
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Enough waiting. I crave blood.
All right, what now?
The Absolute calls us all to her design. Your family will answer. Eventually.
I am loath to see anyone behind bars. It reminds me of my time as a guest of the goblins.
That reminds me. How in the nine hells could goblins capture a chap as well-muscled as you?
Poor choice of companions, for one thing. Gladly rectified since then. Besides,
Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. Your bribery attempt has caused some offense. Violence it is.
being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. Some guards would appreciate your generosity, but not this one. This one prefers old-fashioned.
The Oak Father's work is never done.
Things have stayed interesting.
Tadpoles, sleeping and scarcely aware, but echoing yours 100-fold.
Holy hells. Each one a mind flayer in waiting.
The winged serpent of the Zentarim. It seems their pursuit of profit extends even here. A pattern of blank minds, newly born. They carry only a bare shred of memory, inherited from something older. A sleep of centuries. The birth and destruction of a settlement above, forming only background noise to the dream. Until something descended down into the darkness, and the dreamer awoke.
They came from below. We could destroy them. Or perhaps... No. Annihilation is the only option.
It is impossible to keep a garment clean down here.
You'll find it all the harder once we're off on the march.
If you